Fashion TV presents the famous, most artistic, simply fabulous and innovative swag duo in the history of fashion. Born in Canada, living in London, and made in Italy. Fashion TV introduces the label of glam rock lifestyle. Join us as we reveal the story of fashion's wonder twins who brought the party back to fashion.
Then the world wakes up and says, who are they?
Dsquared, a fashion story by Fashion TV, hosted by Hofit Golan. Once upon a time, there were two tiny twins from Willowdale, Ontario, who traveled the world in hope of fulfilling their dreams, ambitions, and fantasies.
Hi, honey. Darling.
They are the designers that brought the party back to fashion and divide their life and work between London and Milan. They were born in Canada, live in London, and made in Italy. The brothers exploded onto the international fashion scene with a bang. This marked the beginning of a long succession of runway extravaganzas that were to capture the attention of celebrities, models, and journalists from around the world.
An opinion is like an asshole. Everyone has one.
Onlookers can always expect something wildly imaginative from Dsquared.
Are we ready?
The Caten twins have dressed everyone. They designed the stage tour wardrobes for Madonna and had Rihanna, among other stars, appear in their outrageously fun catwalk shows.
Don't you know I get...
From the glittering nights on the Adriatic Riviera to the runways of Milan Fashion Week, the success of Dsquared has been shaped in just a handful of years.
Hi, Fashion TV. I hope you know who we are. I'm Dean. And I'm Dan. And we are Dsquared.
Their label is a symbol of the glam rock lifestyle that the brothers have led, where the sky is the limit and there's no such thing as outrageous.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to slick your hair and shine your shoes. We're taking it back. Our first fashion story's got to come from our older brother, who was kind of girlfriend. Hot. He was the hot guy, and he had very hot girlfriends, like cool girls. Our sisters weren't very fashionable. Yeah, our sisters were kind of more normal and stuff. So when my brother would bring home his girlfriends, they were like all cool and like more fashionable. In Canada, as you know, you have to take your shoes off at the door. So she had left these gray suede wedgie boots encrusted with diamonds and moons and stars and stuff. And we were fighting over who was going to try them on first. And but then as we got them on, we could have adjusted the stars. Put the star over there.
From disco queen sisters to rocker brothers and hippie relatives, they all influenced the twins' penchant for fashion in some way.
So I think that was our first intro.
How old were you?
We were like 7 or 8.
Oh, cute.
Two little baby queens. Having 5 sisters, they were kind of like live dolls that we would like go shopping for them. I think we had better taste than them, so it was kind of like, you know, you should wear this, you should do like that. And it was playing and having fun, and then we were a little bit challenged as far as income, so we had to kind of make do with what we had. So we would kind of recreate. And sometimes the less you have, the more creative you have to become. And develop things, and you know, make outfits from existing pieces of. Growing up, going through school, I mean, we took home economics. We were like the only boys in our class to learn how to sew, and it was a big, weird drama. And they come watch us at the door. We were kind of like the freak show in school and stuff, so we were... And they also gave us a hard time about doing it. Yeah, even the school didn't want it. It's a girls' class, boys can't take it. I'm like, excuse me, it doesn't say that anywhere. You are just saying that. So we want to take it, and men are fashion designers, and that's what we want to be one day. Or chefs. So, we want to take the class. And we ended up getting to take the class, but we were shone on and looked at and teased and whatever, even going through school. So then we realized we didn't really have a lot in common with our classmates.
Sit down.
We were going into the city at a young age, and at this point we were like 12, 13. We ended up meeting this model, and for us, she was like, wow. Jerry Hall of Canada. She had makeup on, and she was wearing fashion, and we were so intrigued. And everything we loved, everything we wanted to belong to. And going out all the time with these people, we kind of entered into another world. I mean,
You're only 12.
yeah, and it was really, really weird. It was an adventure, and we lived a moment way beyond our years. That's when we knew, you know what, this is finally somewhere where we belong. There was this thing about a summer program at Parsons in New York for fashion design. Everyone was in the auditorium and they said, listen, if you don't eat, sleep, drink, and breathe fashion, get out right now, because it's not a 9-to-5 job. And without a word, we looked at each other and said, this is where we need to.
Despite lasting just one semester, Dean and Dan were employed as junior designers by Canadian label Ports International. Being only 19, they had to prove their value.
If you get coffee, you're going to be a help. If you turn the company upside down, you're going to be a bigger help. Do what you can do. And we turned the company upside down. His colleagues and stuff said, listen, you know, they're kids, they don't know anything. And he's like, those two kids have taste, and there's no school in the world that can teach them that. He was our teacher and hands-on discipline, and every time we did something or did a fitting, we would have to answer to him. So we worked for him for 6 years. He decides to sell the company. We said, okay, well, they're gonna buy the company, but they don't get us.
Wanting to start over, the brothers set their way to the fashion capital of Milan, hoping to make it on their own for the first time.
We lost our job. We gave up our great career in Canada. Living in an attic with dust, but always looking polished to being in the front row of every fashion show we snuck into, every single one of them. We wanted it so bad and so bad. And I remember even saying, you know what, we came here, and I'm not going to leave here until we make a difference. We finally saved enough money and said, okay, listen, we're 30 years old now. Let's get it together. Do it. Let's just do it by ourselves. And with all the money that we had saved, we made our first very tiny collection, and Dsquared was born. Hi, I'm Dean. I'm Dan. And we are Dsquared. Bling. So the name came across because we were thinking of like, what can drum up the idea of two guys, two twins, Dean, Dan, two creative forces working together in perfect harmony. D to the power of 2, Dsquared. So we had a showroom that was supposed to sell it for us, and they came to see it in the factory halfway through, and then the last minute we spent all our money, the collection's finished, and the showroom's like, you know what, you guys don't fit in the showroom. It doesn't work. Our showroom's more minimal, you guys are too embellished, sorry. I'm like, what? Rather than leaving it in that showroom that they didn't really like it, we sold it ourselves. We believed in it because we did it, and we sold it, and we sold it at $500,000. We went back to our little factory, which we thought they're never going to see us again. Samples, and we said, listen, we have $500,000 worth of orders. Started making more collections. Then we started doing our first show.
Their label, Dsquared, has practically cornered the market in what the fashion industry Bible, Women's Wear Daily, describes as va-va-voom sex appeal.
And growing up in that decade, there was the showmen that we loved, were like Gaultier and Mugler, that made shows.
The philosophy behind the Dsquared brand is born in Canada, living in London, made in Italy. The Dsquared brand is all about mixing high fashion with an unexpected twist. The element of shock, innovation, and energy is also there, and the brand simply oozes it in their staged catwalks and clothing.
All the boys in the place these days. Did you do your best today? All the boys in the place these days.
And so, if I was to say D-squared, what should that word define?
Tricky question. It resembles individuality, freedom, sensuality, fun, life. So well said.
You're now watching Dsquared, a fashion story by FashionTV.
It's a energetic, upbeat show.
I love the whole collection is amazing.
They have the best shows ever. When you're wearing these clothes, you feel like you're hot.
It's got just the right amount of like fabulousness and cheese to make it really fun, but not overly cheesy.
They like mess with everything and make it more, I don't know, just not what you'd expect.
I'm gonna change my whole look because of Dsquared. It feels really me, actually.
It's one of the shows you really want to do. I mean, at least for me.
Everything very chic.
It's very cool. They're like guys and girls. They're all girls, but some are the more masculine and some are more feminine. So, and I'm a boy today. Today I'm a boy.
I'm just wearing a swimwear, so it's gonna be easy to remember what I have to do.
And this season, great.
These two guys are genius because just making trousers on shirts, they can give you a touch of fantasy.
It's inspired by Kate Moss, Alexa Chung, it's natural.
You don't wear D-squared if you don't want to be in the spotlight. You know, you can't look bad wearing D-squared.
We're in Berlin and we're partying extra hard, looking as sexy as possible, because you know how Dsquared do.
So much energy and it's like so much fun.
They catch you off guard with everything, but it's still amazing and fabulous.
It's gonna be amazing. Yeah. All right, enjoy.
Tell me more about what goes on behind coming up with these incredible themes, because every show is an event. It's a production. It's like going to the theater or going to a concert.
Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Twins Magic Show.
Well, I think the whole thing, because we work on a theme, each collection has a theme, and the hard part is coming up with where do we want to go, what do we want to do next. And then when we establish what the theme will be, everything just kind of comes into place, you know, and then okay, now where are they going to be, what's the situation? Like any good dealer, you just have to give them what they want, and that's what they want. Let them get dependent on it, and they can't live without it.
Here we are in a barber shop. This is the set of the new show by Dsquared, the most rock and roll, hip hop, funky show of the entire week.
They put a sign on the backstage, let's go out there and kick some fashion asses.
The big bad wolf. The big bad wolf.
We shot a campaign with Stephen Klein, and we had Naomi Campbell in the campaign. Actually meeting her for that shoot, we said, okay, now we're going to do a full-on women's, and we'd love you to open the show. And so she said, of course. And then because she ended up doing our show, she signed a letter from her agent saying, doing it for this much. It went to all the other agencies. All the top girls came to did it for the same money, which was very little money. And then Karolina Kurkova, it was her season, and then the agent's like, oh honey, she's not doing any show less than 50 grand, and she's only doing 5 shows, so forget it. She calls it, then she called after, and she said, why am I not doing your show? She said, well, honey, I don't have 50 grand in my back pocket. She said, get me a pair of jeans, I'm coming over in 5 minutes. And so we got her, we got Ava, we had everybody. And then Naomi actually went a further step. She came into the studio the night before and did voiceovers. So the place is empty, and you hear Naomi's voice saying, don't worry guys, I'm coming. And she's like going through customs, and she's like, get out of my way. And she comes running from the back. Like, there's the audience, the stage is there. She comes running down there with her Hermes shopping bag, because she's been shopping in Milan, getting on her private jet, which is the set of the thing. She throws her bags at the security, she snaps her fingers, turns around, and the music changes. AC/DC, boom. all these screaming fans come in, and they were calling out the names of the girls, taking pictures, and they gave this energy that was crazy. All the girls were watching the monitors backstage, and it was like a walk-off. It's like everyone had to outdo the next one. It was like something unbelievable that I don't think would ever have been gained, but it was unbelievable. It was amazing. And nobody saw us coming. Next season, everyone was on exclusives. It was good.
You're now watching Dsquared, a fashion story by FashionTV.
We're not money driven at all as people. It was about the moment and about the energy and about the excitement, and it was all that was there in one bang. But I think the key thing is the girls really loved what they were wearing. We're so excited and happy. Yeah, and we're high. We're like, I mean, like we're here. We couldn't come down. It was like we were gagging. Backstage we were gagging, and then because all the girls even after they because we had only really done men's, and men go to a certain level, but girls just go bring it, and there's just so much more. It just seems like an epidemic. Something's taking over these little girls. What are we gonna do?
Ladies and gentlemen, Dsquared have conquered the fashion music scene with an enviable celebrity following. Music style icons like Lenny Kravitz, Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears, Rihanna, and many more who have always been big fans of the swag duo.
Music is really crucial to creating the atmosphere and the mood. And music, I think that's probably one of the reasons we're really happy people too. Because we listen to music all the time. And I mean, I can be in the shittiest mood. I get in the car, I turn the radio up really loud, and I drive really fast. And by the time I get where I'm going, I am really happy. And I love that. They got jeans, they got shorts, they got diamonds, they got everything. These girls have everything. Us in the music world, I mean, I think it's a world that we belong a little bit more. We're closer to the music than film. I think music's really key for, I mean, we do all the music for all our shows. We enjoy music. Music, it inspires us.
You know, I have vivid memories of amazing milestones. For example, a 19-year-old young girl named Rihanna opens your show and she becomes a global superstar.
I can't get her out of my mind. I think about the girl all the time.
When we approached these artists, I mean, Rihanna, we were using one of her songs in the men's show, and they were like, you know what? We had met her at MTV in Stockholm, and she was lovely, and she wanted to meet us, and we wanted to meet her, and then so we said, you know what? Let's just call her. Let's just call her and say, listen, we use your songs. It would be amazing if you came and you did the girls' show, and we used another song, and she's like, well, okay.
No diggity, I got to bag it up.
In 2003, Christina Aguilera asked the Caten twins to design her wardrobe for the opening of her Stripped World Tour, which later resulted in a blooming friendship.
Madonna was the first one again, and so from the first video, then we ended up doing the Drum World Tour. Then that hooked us with some people in that industry, which ended leading into meeting Justin and Christina. Yeah. We did the tour first, and then getting to know her on tour, we asked her to come do our show. We actually celebrated our birthday together at her house in LA when she was Beverly Hills. Oh, hysterical! It was such a fun party, such a fun party. And it's better. We were turning 40 and she was turning 20. So why do 40 when you could do 20, right?
Bright, brave, and audacious costumes with a gripping undercurrent and saucy Sado-themed costume designs. Very provoking and primal. Dsquared took it upon themselves to be a leading force in the evolution of pop culture as they successfully collaborate with each generation's biggest icons.
And so when Madonna approaches you and says, I want to shoot my video in your clothes,
you kind of die. Because she wants it tomorrow.
Can you show me the face? You're like...
A chance encounter with Madonna created an opportunity that jump-started their career. Dean and Dan designed the costumes for the Queen of Pop's Don't Tell Me music video and the 2002 Drowned World Tour.
She won awards for that video, and
yeah, it was
in that video, and your clothes was flashing up.
And then we did all the dancers too, so all the cowboys were dressed in Dsquared, and she was dressed in Dsquared.
And then that went on to do
the
the Drowning World, the cowboy section of the concert.
Yeah, that was a major milestone, I think.
Two guys came to me and said, hello, we love your shot, you know, we designed the shot. It was 5 years ago. And we designed the shot. You know, I was said, you designed the shot? Yeah, we are Dean and Dan from Dsquared. I said, I'm Bob Sinclair. I said, oh yeah, we love your stuff, I love your stuff.
Is there sort of like someone out there that you haven't yet worked with that's like a dream?
I think we respect and think that Angelina Jolie is a very cool girl.
I can see Angie in your stuff.
Yeah, if you're watching Angelina Jolie, we want you.
Everything I wear is Dsquared. I just love their casual stuff, their suits and everything, and they actually came all the way here to take care of me. Came all the way from Milan.
Michael Bublé here, rocking his Dsquared numbers.
You're now watching Dsquared, a fashion story by FashionTV.
What's life worth doing if it's not on film?
Hello? Who is this?
What's that noise?
I'm getting ready to watch a video.
Inspired by eras such as the 60s, 80s, and 90s, they base their cinematic sensibility on cult horror film phenomena, unsettling psychological tension of Alfred Hitchcock's black and white film noir.
Video is a great vehicle of getting messages across. The more you can give them and the more you can let them into your world or into your life, the closer they become and the more they become. So video is a super great thing for us. But while we were shooting the looks from the pre-collection, we were shooting them on Cara, and then this young film student asked, do you mind if I video while you're shooting? And I have an idea of making a video. So like, of course, he's 17 years old, he's studying, and he ended up pulling together this amazing concept, an amazing video that we were like astonished. And it's like, oh, you know what, this is great.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
And it's great for us to give opportunities, to young people. It's something, when you work with established people sometimes, they're already established, so maybe they have to try a little less. When you're working with someone that really wants to do the best they can do,
the less you have, the more you want.
They give you 200%.
I just want to be angry at you. Go away.
I think for visual people, even doing our shows and doing our productions, there's a sensibility about a vision. I think photographs and video are something that intrigues us. We would probably really like to do a documentary about our life and do it.
Probably. We will do it.
We want to make a movie. I think it's fun to be controversial. It's fun to do things that are different and offbeat, and I think we were able to pull it off. We had come up with a concept about doing a campaign in a video where it's a reflection of maybe where we were in the 90s before we had been established and started creating our own brand. There's a transition from looking deeper into the mirror, deeper into each other, and we find another alter ego, which is our feminine ego. We used to dress up in drag in the 90s, and that's actually how we ended up making enough money to start our career.
We were working to make money for all this, and it came with a pair of high heels and a wig.
And it's kind of a haunting story too. That's why in the video there's a little bit this thing that's there, it's in the mirror, it's haunting us. And sometimes people come up to us now that we're famous, like, oh, I remember you when you were drag queen. So I'm like, yeah, I remember when I was a drag queen too, and I was pretty good.
You're always upbeat. You always have incredible energy. What's the secret?
I think we're fortunate to be blessed with the sensibility to do a job that we love to do. And I think the best thing about our job is, you know, it keeps changing. It's like we did a show, that story's finished. Okay, now where do we want to go? The more you believe in what your capabilities are, the stronger you can achieve them. That was our big thing, is like, we had great jobs in Canada and stuff, and then everyone said, you guys are stupid.
Crazy.
Why are you giving all this up? I was like, well, you know what, I don't want to ever say, you know, what if
we moved to Milan and...
You know, and I never got to do that.
When you open your first store and you see your name up there and
We
you're...
cried. That one I cried.
I think when you really realize when you feel like you've arrived, you're there in the middle of the fashion industry, Versace, Gucci, everybody. We arrived with the best neighbors, the best people in the best neighborhood. It's the wow, it's the kind of the big swallow.
Cindy Crawford on her August Vogue cover. That's
I've
when we
arrived.
You're now watching Dsquared, a fashion story by FashionTV.
Canadians can be proud all around the world. They gave us Dsquared.
Like the legend of the phoenix.
If I was to kind of celebrate your individuality, how would you describe where you're a little bit different from each other?
Smokes too much, eats too much.
Talk about when you go home. First, do you live together or do you live separately?
We live together.
You live together.
Everything together.
We're, you know, like an old couple sitting there in bed talking about...
In your dating life, like, did you go on each other's dates?
We dated twins for a while. That was pretty perfect.
A little bit too corny, though.
A bit too queeny, though.
Queenie, it was a bit too...
Twinny, it was a bit too twinny.
Yeah.
It was like they said, you want twin ashtrays? But it's kind of weird because when you date one, you date the other, like it or not, because we're a pair. And so whoever is dating one or the other, it is a 2-for-1 special.
It's not a double whammy, honey.
It's just 2-for-1.
I'm coming to along for dinner too, bitch, so get over it. You better get used to it. I'm not staying at home by myself.
And likewise. So
yeah, I'm sure it's not an easy person. It's not an easy role being, because we're sort of a couple. I mean, apart from, you know, the other side of it, we live together. We'd fight like we'd be a couple, you know.
Yeah.
There's just the sex thing. So that person that's in the
sexual
middle,
partner, couple, is outside, but always inside. Part of the family. We just bring more people into the family. That's what it is. We create our family and bring people into it. And I think part of the key to our success is that we are always together, and it doesn't stop, you know?
You always share like one mind.
Yeah, and you know, when we have those moments, when we're traveling, when we're on planes, we talk a lot. When I'm driving to the factory, we talk a lot. When we're in bed, getting ready for bed, we talk a lot.
We're up all night to get lucky. 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 She's up all night till the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky.
Via Very #4, Milano, the first Dsquared store ever. It's our home, so we always like to have a little bit of a Canadian forest. We have some trees, we have some lumber yard, a bit of everything. We have a store in Monte Carlo, Cannes, Dubai, Shanghai, Beijing, Tokyo, New York, and London on the way.
Hello, I'm Dean. I'm Dan. We are Dsquared.
So these are all like our little birch forest room. So each time you come to buy something, you can have a new environment to get naked in. And we like that. Here's where it all boils down to.
The present has no rebound. Your gift keeps on giving.
Hi, I'm Dean. I'm Dan. We are Dsquared, and welcome FashionTV to our world, the Dsquared world. FashionTV, we love you. It's been amazing think this whole month we spent together working on this.
So get
We all determine our own destiny, yes. And if you really, really want something bad enough, you can make it happen. The more you believe in what your capabilities are, the stronger you can achieve them, and you can make them happen. I think the thing was, you know, you can always fail. I mean, you can, but you'll never know if you didn't try. So if you try something and you fail, you always land where you were. So you're not going any further back. But if you never try,
Well,
you're
I
never
think you
going
even
any
go
further
forward
ahead.
because in failure there's a great education too.
Of course.
Learn by your mistakes.
So if you don't try, you'll never know and you'll never fail.
Dsquared, a fashion story by FashionTV.